It's me right here. I'm laying somewhere here on my bed, and we are just relaxing after the long day that we've had, and that's what I'm watching. I don't know if you can see it well. That is what I'm watching. It's called Dramatize Me, and I also watch Story Time on YouTube. Very nice, very nice. They always have these interesting, catchy stories that you can watch. Some are fiction, some life stories that people have gone through, and they reenact them and just throw them in YouTube so that you can watch. So I'm here from the forest. And I'm just doing my usual live broadcast. Just to say hi guys. I hope you're doing sawa. And yeah, it's been a long day. Today we had how many kids in the woods, in the forest? We had two kids. We had a newcomer and one usual one who comes. The other one didn't come today. I think the nanny is not okay. But yeah, to another time. So I just jumped right here to say hello, guys. How are you doing? Musibanduke, continue holding on to dear hope. Keep hope alive. Was it yesterday? Yesterday morning. I was just having a chat with my girls, my kiddos. We were really talking about the way life. At times you have to go through the refining fire, the process before you can now breathe and just enjoy life. Don't mind my mdomo. I've eaten some nice yummy lunch. Ooh, I ate some nice fried liver with onions. Nowadays I'm really into onions. I don't like tomatoes. Why? I don't know. Just changing my palate. So what was I talking about? The years of going through. Actually, we're talking about near death experience. And what are you talking about? I was telling them the way I've faced, I think, 3 near-death experiences, 3 of them. And the one that really took the cake, okay, all of them were just crazy and gruesome, and they left me reminding myself that, you don't own this life. This life can come to an end at any given time of the year, of the month. So live it well. Learn to number your days. So I gave them 3 stories, but today I'm just going to talk about one. I'm going to talk about um, the 1997 August bomb blast. It was a Friday, as I can remember. I usually used to go to town on Fridays to go chill out with my, were they family, friends, or just pals? I think they were just pals. So there were 2 siblings. There was a brother and a sister. The brother worked on, was it 7th floor, Ufundi Cooperative. If you guys know of Ufundi Cooperative, it was situated, it's still situated right next to Cooperative Bank. It's the building that looks like a bell bottom. So on this other end, where the garden was raised and put after the bomb blast, used to be the American embassy. So we usually used to go and then would sit outside there. There were benches. Yeah, there were green benches. We used to go sit there. The 3 of us, at times we were 5. At times, at most of the time we were 3. Me, the late Freddie, and the late Caro. Then at times their sister Emily and their cousin Benta used to join in, and we just chat and laugh and have tea and just then leave. And the meetings would always be at 10 o'clock, 10:30, 10ish, 10:30 o'clock in the morning. So this day I was dressed in semi-formal. I can remember I was wearing a white t-shirt and a tailored pant and a beigeish jacket, a blazer that had buttons. I really loved. So that day I wake up, my dad was there. I wake up, I was not into, I didn't have any rush. Just, pole pole too, just taking my time. So I finally got dressed, finally had tea, and exited. That time we were living in Mlango Kubwa in Pango, in Pangani, Juja Road Estate. So we used to exit using the back gate. So I vamoosed through the back gate, walked to the bus stop, and before I got into a mat, actually I got into a mat. Then we went a little bit, we didn't even reach far, and I just felt the notion of you need to go back home. Just alight and go back home. So I just told the conductor, kindly, could I alight? Then he was like, have you forgotten something? And I was like, no, let me just alight. I don't think I want to go to town today. So I alighted and I began walking back. So walking back, I'm still debating, why have I lighted? What's wrong with me, man? What's up? What's this? And so I decide to try and catch another mat. Guess what? I couldn't move properly. I was just feeling heavy. There was a heaviness on me. So I just told myself, your inner feelings never always lie to you. Your intuition never lie. So I just reassured myself and told myself, let me just go home. Maybe there's something happening. There's something up. Let me go home. So what did I do? Went back home. So I went through the back gate, opened it, and got inside. So my dad is like, hi, you've come back. Have you even reached where you're going? And I'm like, I've just decided, let me just come back. So me coming back, I went upstairs to change. Then we had this, you remember the old 10 phones that you'd wind like this and like that. It had numbers and holes to wind, and wind. So me, I've gone upstairs, I'm changing back into my usual home attires. Then boom, my dad is calling me, hey, Saro, come downstairs. And I'm like, what? What's up? What's cutting? So I rushed downstairs. And when I'm just getting I'm getting into the sitting room, I'm just seeing on the television breaking news. And I'm seeing like sort of there is an explosion that has gone on. And I'm like, what? Then my dad is like, see, this is exactly where you wanted to go. Man, God loves you. So I tell him, wow, imagine I was supposed to be there and something just told me to go back. And as we are talking, the phone begins to ring. Pick the phone, and the first phone call is like, St. John's ambulance, is this Sarayamo? Could you please come to the scene? Kindly come to the scene. There's just been a bomb blast and we need your services. We realize that you're a first aider. Kindly grab your badge, grab your identifications and get to the scene. And what happens? What do? I quickly change into another third set of outfit. I remember I wore jeans and I wore rubber shoes and I wore what are they called, a jumper. And I grabbed my first aid badges and stuff, and I just told my dad, hey, I need to go help people on the site. So guys, I left. So all the mats that are coming all the way back from town. Everyone is like, there's been a hole in town. There's like a bomb blast. There's something that has happened in town. There's a very very thick black smoke. You guys be careful. Even if you're going to town, be careful. So I get into town and I didn't have any difficulties in accessing the streets because I had my St. John's ambulance badge. Thanks to St. John's, Kudos. So the first thing that clicks in my head is, let me go first to Uhuru Park, which was not far from St. John's. Behind Parliament, you just go down and access Haile Selassie and get yourself to Uhuru Park. So I got myself to Uhuru Park and I got to donate blood. Dramas of donating blood. I finished donating blood. I tried standing up. I fell down because I was feeling lightheaded. So I sat down and I was told to take time. Then I was given glucose and I was given milk. And Mini Nani me just wanted to get on site and see myself helping other people who are helpless. So guys, I didn't even realize that where my hand where blood had been was hooked and blood was chucked from the clot. I was still bleeding out. So I just went, got into the place, the scene, and we began working. We began removing people, began helping, and my first job when I got there was take guys to hospital, and we began our journey. Look at this one. Look at this one. She's just come here to distract me. So we I got into an ambulance. I remember being called and being told, Sarah, you have to help us take these guys to hospital. And we needed to add. The guy was like, we needed to add more people inside. We should carry as many as possible, because now everyone was running all over. The guys who had blood, the guys who were cut with sharpnel, the guys who had debris and stuff in their faces, the guys who, it was just crazy. It was just crazy, crazy, crazy. But the woman who stands uh who made me to this day not forget how frantically she was crying and asking for help was a lady who was seated right opposite the road, just adjacent to St. John's ambulance premises, and she was screaming her head off. She was just screaming and shouting and crying, oh, somebody help me, I'm going to die, I'm going to die, I'm going to die. And when you looked at her physically and did your assessment, she didn't have any bruise, she didn't have any cut, she didn't have anything on her. And so we started rolling out the ambulances. We're just about to shut the door of the ambulance, and boom, what happens? I just decide, stop it. I just decide that I need to stop, open the ambulance door, and just grab and just take the lady in. And I did so, and we created space, and she got in and she sat. So we went all the way to Aga Khan. We dropped the patients. Then on us reaching, the first guys who helped her to get out of the ambulance onto the hospital beds, called a doctor quickly and told the doctor to just do a quick uh, look on her to just see if she's okay, or we've just brought somebody who's well. They looked at her eyes. They normally check your eyes, check your vitals and all that. They were like, this lady is not okay. So we just saw her being wheeled. I just saw her being wheeled into the theater. So I was like, fine, let's take the kids and the other guys who needed to be taken to other wards, of which we did. Then now coming back, I just asked my friend, could we just go and find out what issue that lady had? So when we went, the doctors were like, you know what, guys, you've really saved this mama. This woman had internal bleedings, and from where you guys are saying you got her from, it is a miracle. If you had taken longer to bring her into the hospital, she should have succumbed. And so we were like, what? And the guys were like, hey, at least Sarah, your intuition, you just had this notion of she needs to come with us, guys. So to cut the long story short, we went back, picked other guys, took them to the hospital. It was a long, long day. Then the same day, that this was just the first day, it was just raw and everything was all over. You could see guys carrying people. They had broken the hinges of the doors, and they're using it to carry guys as stretchers. Some you took wheelbarrows, some took, anything they could get. These carriers that guys used to ferry stuff in town, to just ferry as many people as they could ferry from the scene. So the next incident that baffled me and really hit me to this date, but I'm so happy that the man didn't go blind, was right next to Pioneer House. There's usually Pioneer House, then Leather House. Is it Leather House? There's a shop that people buy gifts and stuff. Leather for You House, I think, if I'm not right, if I'm not wrong. Then there was Blaine's College, Blaine's Secretary College that had so many girls. Then at the corner, there was a supermarket or something right next to Pioneer House. So, right next to Pioneer House, I don't know if there was a bank or something, because there was these two policemen who had guns, and one of them was so agitated. He had cocked his gun. He was ready to shoot because he didn't understand what was going in town, and he couldn't see clearly. One of his eye was bleeding out, and his eyeball was hanging out. Guys, it was scary for the longest period of time. As long as 1 month, 1 month, 2 months, I couldn't sleep with lights off. I could not sleep with lights off. Lights had to be on for me just to sleep, because it was just nightmare upon nightmare. And there were very many other incidences that um I witnessed and I saw with my naked eyes, and they just shook me from the inside, and they made me to realize that life can be so short. Life can turn within split seconds, and things can never be the same again. So this guy, this cop guy, I think they had either loaded money in the bank, or they were taking money to take it to the bank. I don't know which is which. So he as the bomb went off, he was highly affected. I don't know what happened, but his eyeball was hanging out. And so us guys, when we turned, because right now we had finished with the ambulances stuff, they were going to the site now to help people and try to see if we could get more in the ambulances to take them to the hospital. Guess what? First I turn like this and I see this guy, this cop, and I'm like, okay. And my pals are telling me, Sarah, let's be careful. This guy, the way he's looking and the way his body language looks like, he's already cocked his gun. So we had to find a means of explaining to him first what had happened and his status quo. His eye was affected, and we were the help that could help him. Try to do first aid to his eye, then get him to hospital. And here we were. We talked to him. We told him, "Hi, we're St. John's Ambulance. There has been a bomb blast in town, and you have been affected your heart, and if you take longer you might end up losing that eye, and we really want you to recock your gun and hand your gun over to your fellow to your colleague, so that we can attend to you." And he was understanding enough, and his colleague also nudged him and told him, actually, you're being helped. Recock the gun and hand over the gun so that you can be helped. And guys, I'm telling you, in a situation where your adrenaline just tells you to help and not to be afraid, you will do anything. Pushed back the eyeball. Me being, I don't know how fearless I was, but I grabbed a tie from somebody's neck, and we tied both eyes, put back the eye and tied both, and now walked him to the ambulances, and we got him to the hospital. And we were so keen enough to follow through to see if he had gotten help, if the eye was saved or not, and to our to the amazing miracles that happen in this world, He was sorted. He was sorted. The eye was still alive. The moment we helped him to put it back inside the socket, and the way we tied it, we tied both of them, and the fastness and swiftness we took to get him to hospital, the doctor sorted him out. That was the second one. The third one was just ugly and traumatizing, and to this date, it took me um around about 3 months, 3 to around 4 5 months. I couldn't eat meat. I was just seeing meat, and I'm like, oh my goodness. I could see meat on the plate and remember what I'd seen on the site. So that was, I think, the third day, where now you're not dealing with any live bodies. You're not dealing with rescue mission. You're now just retrieving bodies and taking them to the morgue. So we were in between. We were coming. The guys were working from the top building coming down. So we had reached in between fifth and fourth floor. So in between fifth and fourth floor, due to the magnitude of the shake and the rebels and the slabs going all over, a lady was trapped, and she was trapped in between floors. Her torso was up and her legs were dangling down. Guys, where the things I've seen in this life. And then instead of the I won't name the people who are there. I won't name them. Let me just say the guys who are helping to retrieve her body. Instead of them waiting for the guy, the Israeli guys, because we had we had the Israelis and many other nationalities that enough bodies as possible. Instead of helping, instead of being patient to wait for the cutters to come and cut the hole to be a little bit bigger and for the body to be either brought down or up, the guys decided to put a rope on the lady and pull, and it cut into two, and I couldn't stand it. I just walked down and exited. I went to sit in the St. John's tent that was on the roundabout where on adjacent to the beautiful garden memorial garden that was made. There's usually a roundabout. That's where the St. John's ambulance tent was pitched. I couldn't take it, guys. Man, seeing a body cut, and my stomach just shut for the next 2 days. I was just taking liquids. It was crazy. Guys, we would work the whole night, go home, change, shower, change, go back to the site. And we did that for the next 4 days. And still the fifth day, we were still there. There was a function. Wreaths were being put all over the where the U.S. American Embassy house was. That's where now there's a ceremony. It was crazy. That one took the cake. I told myself in life, if I'll never ever be shaken more than that, the way that shook me, then there's not something wrong with me. And for real, guys, after that, the hardcoreness of wanting to be a paramedic out of the window, the hardcoreness of wanting to be a nurse out of the window, I just decided, let me just take another course and forget about all this. And that's what I did. That's what I did. But I'm so happy and proud that we helped people, and up to date, I have a certificate that shows that I was there and I helped. And in the process, I got an injury. I had a finger that the rubbles fell on it and got so swollen and full of abscess, and I had to be treated. I had a back that also a rod just fell when we were just digging and removing bodies and trying to help people, fell, and I had to be treated too. But those didn't deter me or stop me from continuing. I still continued and continued to the word go. Now, interesting beat. Stop it. Interesting beat is that I never ever got to ever walk around Fundi Cooperative building. That's what I was really telling my daughters. I never used to want to walk around that place. It brought me the memories of my friends whose life were lost there. It brought fresh memories of us getting to seventh floor and fourth floor where the brother and sister used to work, and I had to do the honors of removing the documents from the brother's pockets and truly identifying that it's him, and getting a body bag and being helped to uh, the other rescue mission guys to put him in the body bag. Was just crazy. Was just crazy. Guys, imagine from doing live people to now handling bodies. It was not easy. It was not easy. 1997 was crazy for me. All the way to the end of the year, I was just this person who I couldn't eat meat. I couldn't stay in darkness. It was just scary. I would have nightmares. I couldn't sleep without light. I was just, not okay. Then, as if that's not enough, we never ever got to see any psychiatrist. But here we are, one way or the other. God healed us. We are well. We just have one or two, once in a while memories that come and go. Like the other day, I just thought about Freddy, the way it was just used to be interesting. We'd laugh. He would give me, tidbits of life because he was way older than me, and such is life. And all I would say is rest in peace, all the guys who died on that day. It was not their fault, but God's timing. When God decides to call you home, there's nothing you can do about it. So, guys, still just continue resting in peace. The guys who lost loved ones, may God always give you strength and give you sweet memories to remember about them, because time heals wounds. Time heals wounds. It does. It does. It does. Um, that really shook me, and my life turned around. I stopped anything to do with blood and first aid and all that. I just stopped. I just stopped. I just discovered that I'm not built for that. So yeah, that was my life for you guys today. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you've enjoyed that Tisara. Tisara was a first aid at some point from 95 all the way to 99. I think from 1999 ish, 2000. That's when I just decided to hang my boots and chomoka exit the scene. But I still do first aid with kids. I have to ensure that they learn how to do simple first aid, how not to panic when someone gets hurt, what to do when someone's nose bleeding, what to do when someone has a cut. In case of danger, what do we do? Do you run to where the danger is or run opposite, or assess the situation and see? Just need to lie down and wait wait out until everything is sorted out, then come out. And yeah, and to your surprise, we also got I also got to do there was an accident that was in the 90s of the train that caught fire. St. John's was also there, and I was there. There's a night that free market caught fire. We went. Yeah, Mtongwe too. Guys drowned and died. So yeah, St. John's, I can say, really built me and really made me to be that lady who can face a lot of challenges and crises. And yeah, St. John's Ambulance, Santeni, thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's part of my life that I really always am grateful that I went there and learned so many things, learned so many skills. And right now, really learning to give back to kids, because I love kids, and that's where my stronghold is, kids. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. See you on the next live broadcast. Maybe I'll do the other stories, the other near death stories. Ciao, ciao. Thank you for watching.